We've got Carrie back on the show to talk about a new marketplace she's selling in that you've probably never heard of, but she's selling 30 units a day on there. And we're even going to learn about some of her health hacks that helped her to not get sick for 3 years. How cool is that? Pretty cool, I think. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Serious Sellers Podcast by Helium 10. I'm your host, Bradley Sutton, and this is the show that's a completely BS-free, unscripted, and unrehearsed, organic conversation about serious strategies for serious sellers of any level in the e-commerce world. We've got a local resident serious seller here who's going to talk about a brand new platform. Carrie Miller, welcome back to the show.
Hi, thanks so much. I'm excited to be here.
I'm wearing my Helium 10 basketball jersey. Carrie used to be a varsity you were a basketball player, and then you coached volleyball, but did you coach basketball also?
No.
Okay, well, she has worn basketball uniforms.
Yes, I played basketball.
In the past.
In high school, I played basketball, and then they had me coaching volleyball when I was a teacher, and I definitely don't know how to play volleyball. So
of course, that makes all the sense in the world. Yeah. You play one sport and go ahead and coach something that you never... There's our educational system. But anyways, that's a side topic there. Today, I had you back because I wanted to talk about something. You've been trying to talk to me about this for a long time, but I just been so busy. I haven't had time to look at it. And then all of a sudden news articles started talking about this platform, but it's a platform that you're selling on. And so we're going to get into it in a little bit. But before we get into it, it's been a number of months, more than half a year since we've had you on before. How did you end your family's brands on Amazon? Were you up on all brands last year for 2024?
Yes, we were up last year. It wasn't as much as previous years. So
how many brands is that, by the way?
2
brands. Okay.
Yeah.
So up on both.
Yeah. It was kind of some months were up, more year over year and some were down. This year we had January was pretty strong, 15% year over year growth. So that's pretty good. And we're trending 20 to 30% in February so far.
Now, one of the brands last year you were looking into selling, like is that still in progress? You still looking, or do you have something close, or what?
It's that deal ended up not happening, so it's kind of at the last minute. But we're still interested in that. But we'll see.
Now, you have a warehouse in California or Nevada, because you moved to Nevada last year or year before.
So we've always used Main Freight as our third-party logistics, and then we also had a warehouse where my dad would also ship out some orders there as well, because he had to do kind of custom things there and ship them out. But we actually got rid of that, and now it's just the garage. And so we have a storage unit for stuff if we need to go get something. But then also for our 3PL, we're moving Main Freight to a 3PL in Reno. So it'll only be like 30 minutes from our house.
So is the reason for that because you want to be able to just like go down the street and go there to take care of stuff? Because some people they live outside of the country. Obviously, that's not an option. If 3PL in California is the same thing as a 3PL in Florida, it's still way far away from them. But does that give you extra flexibility with your inventory?
It's just nice to be able to go down and see if there's an issue. Like the one in Moreno Valley, we lived in Temecula, so it was a short drive to get to Moreno Valley if there was an issue. And we kind of like to build relationships with the people actually doing our fulfillment and stuff. So, and then, so we wanted it to be closer. So it's just easier if there's any issues, we can just drive down there and they can't ignore our emails or anything.
Yeah. All right. So now Amazon was working well. Walmart, were you up or down year over year?
Kind of stagnant there. Not too much growth there on Walmart. So that's kind of been challenging.
How about TikTok Shop? I know you started the TikTok Shop, but I hadn't really focused much on it. How's that been doing?
I haven't done too much on TikTok Shop. So I've got to kind of focus on that too. And that's one of my goals this year. So you'll start to see some more from me on that.
Right.
So yeah, haven't gotten too much. I mean, we'll get a few orders here and there, but nothing's huge.
How about Shopify?
Shopify's been up. We actually, we're continuing to grow there. We've been collecting emails. So we, in our product inserts, we give away a product for free if they sign up for it, and we get their mailing address and their email address. So we're actually planning on doing a mailer at some point. But we also have those email addresses so that we can send them emails and kind of, remind them of our products. And then any launches we have, we can send those out to them too.
Now, this other platform that we're talking about is called Flip app, I believe. Now, how in the world, I had never even heard of it until you told it to me. And of course, later I started, seeing the news and stuff. Who put this on your radar, or how did you or your dad find out about this?
My dad has signed up for something called Range Me. Have you heard of Range Me?
I have not.
So Range Me is a platform where you can go to have retailers find you and your products. So if you're interested in, retail opportunities, there's ways that you can connect with big retailers, but a lot of the orders we'll get are from like small shops all around the country. But Range Me is like just a place where you can go to kind of get exposure for your brand, for buyers and things like that. And so we actually have been contacted by quite a few platforms like Shein, Flip, I think Temu. So they're kind of looking for sellers on that platform too. So that's kind of how we figured out what Flip was, and that's where we got started. Yeah.
When was this that you started on the platform?
I think it was in August.
August. Okay, so not that long ago. So, no. What, like, from a app point of view, what is Flip? Like, is it social media? Is it strictly a marketplace? What is it, like Temu? What is it?
It's kind of like, it is like social media, but it's like, it seems like it's more like a selling, shopping kind of platform. So people are going there to kind of find products and buy products more so than social media, but it looks like TikTok. So if you go on there and you're familiar with TikTok, it pretty much has the same look. What's really different is as you're scrolling, you get kind of money to get free products. So as a consumer, I don't know exactly how that works, but I think your first 3 products, you can get kind of like really good deals or for free, based on your scrolling and things like that. I'm not 100% sure how it works.
It sounds like the stuff there used to be like the 90s and 2000s where you browse the internet and you can get money like using these like little plugins and stuff. Interesting. All right, now I see you have your your phone connected to here. Why don't you go ahead and explain what we're looking at here?
So this is just kind of I just did a search of a brand that's pretty popular, Anua, but I actually don't really see too many of the products. But Anua is it's kind of a Korean skincare brand that's gone viral on TikTok. Okay. So I wanted to kind of look at it. But basically what happens is you can see if
it does look like TikTok.
Yeah, it does. So these videos basically are kind of like sales videos. So like this one right here looks like an Anua one. And so they're going to be able to talk about the product, and you can see it in the top corner.
So those are like influencers?
Yeah, they don't even have to be influencers. So anyone can get these products and do videos and earn commission. So there's no, like, you don't have to have a certain amount of followers or anything like that. But here's another like Anua skincare. And so they've got it kind of linked in there. You could see my scrolling number, it's $36.13. I still haven't figured out what to do with that, but that's from just scrolling, and they give you money, and then you can get free products too, because there's brands that are giving away free products on there, and you can do reviews on here. And when you do the reviews, you can get commission. So
now is all content product related, unlike TikTok is mainly like dancing and just like info and stuff, and then every now and then there's like a TikTok shop, kind of like product thing. But on this app, it looks like, is it 100% about the products?
So if you look, there's other videos too.
Oh, okay.
So I've got
this one has nothing to do with the product.
Yeah.
Right? Or
so there's some fruit. And and then you can see my amount goes up as we.
So as we've been scrolling, you've been making some money on there. That is insane. Like,
so I'm still not sure how they fund that or how that works, but I think it has to do with your, getting your free products to kind of share a video.
Yeah.
And and basically, you pretty much have to do a video or else you won't get, the free products in the future.
You just made 25 cents in the last
so
minute doing nothing.
Okay. That's the next thing, is I got to figure out how to spend it.
But
I mean,
what the heck is going on? Like, some of this stuff is kind of disturbing looking. What in the world? I don't even know. Change to another one. I don't even know what the heck this is. This is
I've actually seen this one on somewhere else, but I forgot.
Mission Impossible, somebody taking off their face.
It's her makeup, what she looks like underneath. But so it is like a social media platform, but a lot of TikTok influencers went here right away after the TikTok ban for 12 hours. They just hopped straight over to Flip. So that is, something to consider there. But you can just. Okay.
So that's the like consumer side, I guess, of it. So now as a seller, you just did you have to one by one make your listings? Did it have a migration to Shopify or
migration from Shopify? And so they actually kind of helped us do a lot of that. And I have not run ads, but I did talk to somebody about running ads on there. So that's another option. You can kind of put your own videos out there. And I can look up my brand and I can see I think there's like 370 videos on our products, which is really great because you get free UGC. Now, a lot of it isn't that great. People are just doing videos and they're getting free products and stuff. But, it's a cool way to kind of get your products out there, because, especially if a good product that people want to reorder, then they're going to probably keep ordering your product. But yeah, so
now fast forward this before we get into the logistics of how this worked, just like nowadays, a normal day, you're actually doing like 30, 40 plus units a day.
It was like 20 to 30. It's kind of slowed down a little bit. It kind of spiked with the TikTok shop situation. But yeah, it can go anywhere from like 3 to 30. It's not very consistent.
It's all over the place. Okay. Yeah. So 30 a day, that's pretty good. And then you're not paying for advertising right now, right?
No.
So then how did you build it up? You first migrated your listings from Shopify to this app. And then how did you get people to start making videos? Is it like TikTok Shop where you give out, you have this portal where you look for influencers and offer them a free product, or what?
So that's the challenge, is you can't really choose your influencers. It's called On the House. And so anybody is allowed to do a review on your product. So that's why like you don't have to be an influencer to start making commissions if you're, start doing reviews. So that's why some of our videos are really pretty good and some of them are terrible.
Anybody can opt in and you have to send them a free unit, or?
Yeah.
So then what do you like? I'm assuming there's limits where you say how many you're willing to give out or something like that?
Yeah, you can put limits on there. Yeah, for each.
How many, what did you, to date, like how much have you given out? Would you say how many?
We've given out quite a few. I think it was like in the 300 range.
300. Okay. That in 5-6 months, gave about 300, but you've had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of orders.
Yeah.
Way more than that. Okay. Interesting. What's the pricing structure? Like, are you pricing it exactly the same as Amazon and Walmart?
Yeah, same exact price.
And then how are you fulfilling the orders?
So we have it connected through our Shopify.
Okay. And then is the Shopify going to MCF or it's going to the 3PL?
So our 3PL does all of that. Yeah.
Are you able to get data on them since it's coming through Shopify, like their address and stuff, so you can do like marketing later?
Not really that I've seen. I need to go back and look more into the dashboard. There's a lot going on there, but you can see your sales and you can see those free videos if you've gotten any sales from any of those videos too, and how many people watched a certain amount. There's a lot of stuff in the dashboard that I'm still trying to explore. And
how much? What kind of like commission do they take?
They take 25%.
25%? That's even more than Amazon.
It's a lot, yeah. So it's 25%, and I think that's how they could potentially pay the influencers out of that.
Okay.
Like people.
So the influencers, you just have to give them.
Yeah.
So the influencer, you give them the free product, but you're not, unlike TikTok Shop and Amazon, unlike TikTok Shop, I should say, you're not giving 5% or 10% to the influencer.
Right.
Okay. So, that makes it sound a lot better. That makes it kind of like equal to, like Amazon and TikTok. Okay. That makes you feel a lot better. Interesting. And so you're like not even focused on this really.
No.
And you were able to get it up to like an average of 10, 15, 20 orders a day even.
Yeah, we weren't doing any focus on it at all. So I do want to start running ads. They said, that we have a good potential to, it wasn't like huge numbers that they were saying, but they're like, yeah, you can, maybe in the next few months get an extra, sell 30,000 in sales a month. And then maybe in 180 days, 90,000 a month. So it was like a kind of a slower build.
Man, I might have to, look into getting there. What's the sign up process like? Like, was it, like when I was trying to get onto Temu, oh my God, we had to like take selfies and write messages and hold up pictures to prove who we were and do it like 17 different times. Is it just kind of like straightforward, like TikTok Shop, where it's just like, show us your incorporation and data? Yeah. Does it ask Social Security? Like, well, do you remember what it was like?
I didn't do it. My dad did it. And it seemed like it was pretty straightforward.
Do you know if they're doing any, if they're open to foreigners or just US based?
That is a good question. I actually don't know the answer to that.
All right. Well, hey guys, if you're out there and it, Carrie is tying her Shopify to her 3PL, but remember, like you could have your Shopify also tied to your MCF. And then I would assume theoretically it would be just you could have it pull from your MCF, your FBA inventory, but it could be a platform worth exploring. I'll go ahead and with Carrie's help. Yeah, Carrie, I'm going to assign you to please get some of our coffin shelves or something up on there, and let's see how it goes, because that's an interesting concept. Like the article that we talked about in the Weekly Buzz a couple of weeks ago was something like they're earmarking $100 million in equity for the creators. Like so I don't know what that means like exactly, but it's like they got this fund where you get equity in the company or added bonus if you're making videos, and so it's definitely coming up in the news more. And as people are worried maybe about the future of TikTok Shop, who knows? Maybe now there's something to look into. Okay, so there we go, guys. We just learned about just when you thought you knew about all the marketplaces you should be on, we learned about a hot new one there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it is a good opportunity if anyone wants to get into influencing and just try it out, because you can get these products for free. So
that's right. On the flip side, are you an influencer on that platform?
I actually was thinking about just trying out to see what it's like. Because I think you get their first 3 products, you get like a very big discount. So I was like, oh, I want to look for like a really good product that I get a good discount on. Like if I can find one of those LED masks and get a really good discount on those, I want to do that. Like something I really want to buy and then do a cool review on it.
There you go. Okay. Yeah. So that's another way. Helium 10 obviously has a lot of new tools for Amazon influencers out there. It's a great way for those who are looking to get into private label or something and not have to invest, and you just want to build up some capital. Well, who knows? Maybe being a flip influencer might also be a way. Like, I'm curious, like, do I actually have to get a product through the system in order to make a video? Like, for example, on Amazon, you don't have to. Like Amazon, maybe this bottle I bought from Walmart, but if it's on Amazon, as an Amazon influencer, I can just go and make a video about it, even though I didn't buy it from Amazon. But you're saying for Flip, you actually have to buy it through the platform.
I remember a few months ago too, I was looking at some videos and people were saying how much they made. I remember one guy said he made $7,000 in 1 month on Flip. Wow. So the numbers that I saw were like, okay, here, a few thousand there and a few thousand there. It wasn't the same numbers as TikTok Shop, but it was still, I mean, $7,000, pretty good extra in your pocket. But yeah, so I think that, right now, if you can get on there and start, building up and, start creating some videos, you could have a good chance.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So there you go, guys. Well, look out for future content from us, and we'll show you the results of getting Project X up on the Flip app. And in the meantime, if anybody else is selling out there, let me know in the comments below. Like, how are you guys doing on it? Or are you going to start? Let me know. I'd be curious to watch your journey on there. Now, another project we're going to put you on. You've got TikTok Shop coming up. I mean, in the past, you were strictly Walmart here at Helium. Not strictly Walmart, but that was like your specialty. But Walmart, like many people are in the same boat as you. Their sales aren't growing, so they're looking to diversify in other platforms. And so, been wanting you to focus on other things. And so TikTok Shop, you're going to get more into. But another project, I want to take you back to your roots. Like, before you were even in the SaaS space, you were like a consultant for Amazon sellers. Now, obviously, the best practices and things in 2016 of listing is different. It was probably different in 2018 and 2019, but it's definitely different in 2025, especially, now like, you have to be, some sellers are thinking a little bit more about AI. I'm still hesitant to, like, I'm not changing anything as far as AI goes, just because what everybody says is the best practices for Rufus. I've been doing those, or I've been teaching those best practices. It's the same thing as if there wasn't AI. You should never just keyword stuff you're listing, but just in general, you're obviously launching new products on Amazon still, even though you're not a consultant for listing building. What are you doing differently, if anything, lately, like for your last product launch, if you launched any this year or last year, as opposed to previous years? Like has your strategy morphed at all?
I actually haven't launched a new product, and we didn't launch a new one last year, and that's something my dad and I were talking about.
So you were able to grow your sales without even launching a new product.
That's awesome. I actually have a new product that's being manufactured in Turkey, and it'll be here in the next few months. I think it's my favorite one, personally,
that you've ever launched.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I'm pretty excited about it. And yeah, it's just really high quality. And I've visited the factory already when I went last August? No, the August before last August.
I thought you were going to manufacture in Turkey like a long time ago, but then it's like you ran into problems, or it never actually happened. Or
it's more expensive to come from there, and just like the logistics of getting it, to the warehouse. You have to kind of go to the East Coast and then truck it across the country. But with tariffs and things happening, it's something that.
Are you manufacturing in China? Is that where you're currently getting stuff from?
Yeah. So this new product is going to be in Turkey, and then we're going to ship it. And then we also have plans. We're actually exploring manufacturing in the U.S. as well. That's just going to take a little while to find the right, because we still have to get the raw materials from China. That's what people don't realize, is that pretty much 90% of the raw materials are made in China. So we still have to get the raw materials, and then we're going to hopefully manufacture in the US. Some of them, not all the factories can do the same things that some of these factories like in Turkey and China can do, unfortunately. So
what was the motivation behind looking into Turkey? Was it strictly tariffs? Is it quality? Is it professionalism? Like you weren't happy with what was going on at your old factory? What started that? And what has made you now pull the trigger and say, hey, yeah, we're going to go with this new product in Turkey instead of our factory in China?
I think it was like a quality control thing because, you know, we do have an inspector kind of watching as things are being packaged, but still sometimes things aren't, you know, up to par in our opinion. And so with Turkey, just the samples we even have, it's just really high quality, and I like it. But again, the cost is much higher, so that's something you have to consider.
The cost is higher, but then you save a little bit on the tariffs. But even with that, it's still higher due to the higher cost of manufacturing and then the logistics to get it
shipping
from East Coast. So, it's because you're shipping a lot of it to your warehouse, not like directly to Amazon,
right?
From okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, that's the thing. And so I think the port would be New Jersey, and then we would have to truck it all the way over instead of like the LA port where we usually go in through LA, and then it's just like a few hours. So, well, actually Moreno Valley was only an hour. So I was like,
yeah, that was super easy.
Yeah.
I've shipped to that place many times. I still want to try and figure out how to become an Amazon carrier. Like I am for TikTok Shop, you know, like my son just took 5 pallets at TikTok Shop directly to their dock last week, and we're doing that a lot. So I just got to figure out how can I do that with Amazon. Like I know how to become a carrier, but you can't choose always where you're going to send your product. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm worried about. Okay, I go through all this trouble to become a carrier, but then it's like, yeah, sure. West Coast, yeah, sure. Send it to Oakland. You know, like I'm not going to drive to Oakland from San Diego, you know, so
no, thank you.
That takes away all the added benefit. Okay, interesting. Now, what about just in general? Like you said, you didn't launch any products last year. What are you and your dad doing as far as like making sure you're pretty relevant? Like obviously you're using Helium 10, you're tracking keywords and stuff. Are you doing stuff based on what you see, like changing your listings at all, or like looking for new trends, or like literally the listing you had on December 31st across the board was the same listings you had on January 1st of last year?
I have pretty much the same listings. I am going to be editing my photos soon just to kind of add some more. So yeah. They're pretty much the same. This is the same kind of sales pitches. Just kind of moving around keywords and stuff.
Your sales are moving forward. You know, there's not much reason to change. So, but you're not like adding any keyword, like some new trend that comes up or anything?
I do, yeah. Like there were some keyword groups that I found on Helium 10, and that's kind of, people always want to know like the shortcut to finding these things, but sometimes I just kind of look through them and find trends. And like one was a sizing trend. And I was like, I can see these are searched exactly, and there's lots of searches for them. So I did some of that.
So then that became, what did you do with that information?
Wrote it into the listing and also advertising.
Got it.
Then there was also something I've talked about in the past, which I noticed one of my main competitors was advertising. When I did the sorting for sponsored ads, they were basically targeting mostly smaller brand names. And so I did launch a video ad a while back, and that one did super well. So you can see sometimes your competitors, like if you're looking at the keywords when you download them, or even just looking in Helium 10, because you can sort, where they're kind of, at doing their advertising. You can just sort, you can kind of look through the actual words, and you can see what the trends are. That's kind of one of my strategies, is I kind of look and see, I'm like, what am I seeing over and over and over again? And those are the kinds of things I saw.
How much of your advertising budget is going off Amazon? Because I know you've said you've done some Google ads and stuff like that. Like, is that just very small drop in the bucket, or are you still doing Google ads? Or are you only doing Amazon?
Google ads are to Amazon.
So the Google ads are sending traffic to Amazon, not to Shopify.
Right.
What was your thought process there on why you're doing? Because the argument can be made both ways. I'm not saying like I probably would send it to Amazon itself, and the reason is I want to drive more conversions and build up my Amazon reviews and stuff like that. But then somebody else might come along and say, well, I want to go Shopify with a lot and make more profit, because and then be able to keep the customer's information. So what made you choose sending to Amazon?
We were just doing it because Amazon kind of rewards outside traffic, so we wanted to see if we could rank for things, and the ads actually have done well, so we just kept going. It's a small budget though; it's not a huge.
Are you doing that like attribution link where your Google ads like give you like a kickback if you actually get a sale?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Are you tracking that to actually like Amazon is paying you out for?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I mean, I don't know about that. I don't know about checking that part. I can.
Yeah.
My dad does all that kind of stuff, so I could ask him.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I forgot about that. There's another word for it. It's not attribution, or it's kind of like attribution, but there's another word for it in Amazon that it's just escaping me at this time.
I thought it was attribution.
Maybe it is attribution, but I thought there was like a brand referral bonus.
Oh yeah,
that's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, but they are like attribution links. And what about just off Amazon branding? Like do you you have social media? Are you doing Reddit, Facebook groups, anything like that?
I do have social media. It's not very lively. I haven't posted in a while. One of our brands we do post a lot because it's more of like a sports and outdoor brand, so we do post on that. And we have like basically some guys that post for us and use the product and stuff like that. But that is definitely something. I mean, it's kind of crazy, like all the things I could do if I had more time in the day. But yeah, there's a lot of things I could definitely, even with that, we're still growing on Amazon. So
how can you get more buyers to leave you Amazon product reviews? By following up with them in a way that's compliant with Amazon terms of service. You can use Helium 10 follow-up in order to automatically send out Amazon's request a review emails to any customers you want. Not just that, but you can specify when they get the message and even filter out people that you don't want to get that message, such as people who have asked for refunds or maybe ones that you gave discounts to. For more information, visit h10.me/follow-up. You can sign up for a free account or you can sign up for a platinum plan and get 10% off for life by using the discount code SSP10.
All right, now last year when you were on the podcast, you talked about some crazy thing where somebody actually stole your disbursement and it cost you tons and tons of money. But there was another thing that happened to you where didn't like your listings get broken up or suspended or something happen?
Yeah, we kept getting them taken down, and it was basically because our brand name has a word that's kind of forbidden, but it's allowed because it's in our brand name. But they basically, they kept taking them down, and then we accidentally pushed a wrong button and our stuff kind of got removed for a long time. And then e-commerce Chris had to kind of come in and help us to get those listings up again. But then we had to like completely delete our content, like our A+ content, and not just like, oh, hey, take it down. You know how you can kind of save it in the back end? Like we had to completely delete it out. Also I had to redo the images to make sure there was no like lingering of a certain word without the full brand name in it. In the photo metadata. Mm-hmm. And so it was kind of a nightmare to be honest.
Wow.
Yeah.
But you got was there something you could have done to help avoid that? Like, for the bank account stealing thing, like, adding extra layers of, two-step protection and other stuff, maybe. But what about that situation you're in? I mean, it was in your brand name, but was there something else that you could have done in retrospect, do you think?
I mean, there were some places where it was like the word was by itself, like metadata type thing. So maybe just like really checking everything. But for the most part, it was kind of just a challenge, a challenge that we have to go through.
And still with that, we're able to increase the sales and everything. So you were able to get like maybe your keyword ranks kind of like back right away, even though you were out of stock for a while. Okay. Yeah. I've noticed that too, that Amazon's really been pretty good with that, even if you go out of stock. Lastly, like going back to Walmart, like Walmart, it is rapidly evolving, like advertising and things like that. Are you doing anything differently lately, as opposed to 2 years ago, as far as Walmart, in your advertising or in your listing optimization or anything, that you can talk about?
The challenge with Walmart is they haven't really changed a whole lot. But I will say I have been talking to some sellers, and I used to say, stay away from auto campaigns, because I felt like when I first did my first auto campaigns, they were just ridiculous. Like the words that were coming in there were not even remotely related to my listing. And so I was frustrated because they were spending my money on completely unrelated keywords. But it sounds like it's gotten better over time. And so the auto campaigns, when you're launching your product on Walmart, it sounds like they're a good way to kind of get launched, is to start with those auto campaigns, to do some kind of, keyword research that way too, on Walmart, kind of learning. And you can adjust the bids on those auto campaigns, and you can also do brand term targeting. There's an option to kind of target other brands on there. So I do know some people who have done pretty well on Walmart, but then some people who are just like, oh, I do 2 or 3 sales a day, and how do I get this up? And so I think Walmart's working on ways to get that up, but it's been a struggle for a lot of people. And so hopefully, we're working on some stuff with Helium 10 to try to get some tools out there to help people get some good product ideas for Walmart and validation and stuff like that.
Cool. Before we get into like your favorite strategy or Helium 10 tool that I usually ask, you're known at our company for being like the queen of like home remedies and like health hacks and stuff. So what is one, like if you were to pick out of all the stuff you do, which you do a lot of different things, what would you say is the one, like the number one thing or remedy or supplement or something that people can be taking that you feel is a big time health hack for you?
I think it's still black seed oil. Black seed oil is, they say it cures everything but death, and it even can kill cancer cells. It helps just like keep you from getting sick. Like I've been in places where people are just like coughing on me, and like I didn't get sick for 3 years. I did get sick around Thanksgiving. I wasn't taking it as consistently as I should have, and other things. I was in a stressful time, so your emotions are also tightly connected to your health. So there is that aspect that nothing can really help on that. So,
all right, of all the new tools or new features that Helium 10 has come out with, in the last 6 months or so, do you have a favorite one?
I mean, my favorite has always been the historical trend. Mm-hmm. The historical trend tool, you can go back in time, you can see where any ASIN was ranked in the organic or sponsored, and then you can also see search volume, so you can kind of get ahead of like any seasonal keywords. So you can say, hey, in this month it's 800 searches, but in 3 months in December it'll be 70,000. So you can get ahead of the competition that way. But there's also now within historical trend is the 3-month comparison. So if you're like, okay, my sales are down, what is going on? Why is it from month to month that something is going on? You can actually see if you've lost, keyword traction. And so you can go into the historical trend tool and compare months. So if you are, super getting a ton of traction in December, but then in January you're not, you can go and you can actually compare and see exactly what keywords you're showing up for in December that you weren't in January. Yep. And you can figure out what's going on and where the hole is. I absolutely think that's gold. I mean, that's something that, it's just so easy to find those holes that way. But then I also really like the listing builder and how you can see where your competitors are placing their most important keywords. Mm-hmm. That's I think diamond only, but I think that is a huge benefit. I mean, I was optimizing listings with a very basic tool back in the day, and it was just like basically, I would put the keywords in the word bank. Sometimes I would deduplicate them too. I would deduplicate them in Frankenstein and then carry them over and make sure everything was written in phrase form for the most important ones. And then also those kind of individual keywords, the root words, all written into the listing. But now there's just so much more you can do. We have a listing quality score that you came up with, a formula for that. And so you can compare yourself to your competitors. You can see, where you've actually put your keywords in the placement, and you can easily see kind of an overview of how well you did that way. So, I mean, those two I think are my favorite. I obviously love all the tools, and I think everyone should be using them. But those are my favorite.
Yep, I like them too.
Yeah.
That's the Rebro historical thing was something I pushed for years because like nobody had ever done it. But I was like, we've got the data. We should be able to do it. And they even exceeded my expectations because now we have that comparison one where you can say, hey, month 1, month 2, month 3, show me where in month 1 it was ranked 1 through 10, but in month 3 it wasn't ranked at all. Or vice versa. So it's tons of capabilities there. All right. Well, Carrie, you left us a lot of homework to do on the health side and also on the different marketplace side and listing side and everything. Let's connect back in a few months and let's see how the Project X flip shop is doing.
Okay.
Thanks a lot, Carrie.
Sounds good.